There's money sitting in other people's bank accounts right now that belongs to you. I stopped chasing it. I built an AI agent that finds it every single morning at 6 a.m., ages every invoice, and writes the email for me before I'm even awake. I'm going to give you that AI agent and 9 more prompts that run the rest of your business. But stick around to the end, because there's at least one sentence missing from the contract you're sending customers right now. And without it, that email has no teeth at all. A winnable $8,000 dispute isn't even worth pursuing without this clause. I'm a business attorney, and today I'll show you the sentence. And stay to the end and I'll give you the AI prompt that drafts the contract for you. Here's how this works. First, I'm going to cover the 4 stages of your business: getting the customer, doing the job, getting paid, and protecting what you built. 10 AI prompts, 5 AI agents. Every one of them copy and paste from the free AI pack I give you at the end of this video. Here's a sneak peek at the free AI pack you will be getting today. Then the part I actually care about, because you can automate everything I'm about to show you and still lose the money. It all comes down to 5 clauses in the contract you're already using. 4 of them will make you uncomfortable. The 5th one is the reason I made this video. One thing before we start, there are 2 versions of Claude. The chat answers your questions. The agent, called Cowork, actually does the work on your files. A full setup comes at the end of this video and in the prompts pack I am giving you today. Stage 1. Get it. This is the leads, quotes, and the follow-up you never do but need to do part of your business. So the first prompt is a lead source audit. You paste in your last 50 customers, what they spent, and how they found you. And it tells you where your revenue actually comes from, not where your leads come from. Those are 2 completely different numbers, and the difference is the whole game. Then it tells you where the next dollar goes. $1, one channel. No hedging. The second prompt rebuilds your quote so it sells instead of just pricing. 3 tiers. A cheap one, a middle one, a premium one. And the cheap one exists to make the middle one look reasonable. It's not there to be bought. Then the first agent, the follow-up machine. It reads every quote you sent and flags the ones that went quiet. 3 days, 7 days, 14 days. 3 different conversations, and it drafts all 3. Because owners don't lose deals to competitors. They lose them to silence. Winning the job is the easy part. Doing it without becoming the bottleneck is not. Stage 2. Do it. This is delivery and getting out of your own way. Prompt 3 is the SOP extractor. It interviews you about a task you do from memory. Badly, the way people describe things they've done 1,000 times. And when you say something like, then you just check the unit, it stops you. It asks what checking it actually means and what you're looking for. Because those are exactly the steps a new hire gets wrong. Then it writes the manual you've been meaning to write for 6 years. Prompt 4 is the bottleneck finder. It maps your whole delivery process and finds the one step that sets your ceiling. And I told it not to be diplomatic about this. If you are the bottleneck, it says so in the first sentence. You did the work. Now comes the part everyone in this business hates. Stage 3, bill it. The money sitting in somebody else's bank account. Prompt 5 is a pricing reset. It builds your true cost per job with your own time valued at a real rate, not at 0. Most owners find out they've been running a charity for one customer segment. But the one you want is the collections ladder. 5 rungs, and here's the cadence that actually works. Day 7, an email. Friendly, assumes it fell through the cracks. Day 21, another email. Firm. It restates the terms they already agreed to. Day 30, it stops being an email. That's when a letter goes in the mail, because a physical letter tells a customer this has left the we'll get to it pile. Day 60, the stop work notice, if your contract lets you do that. Day 90, the final demand, and that one goes certified, because now you're building a record. And here's where it stops being advice and starts being a machine. The invoice chaser reads your entire money folder every morning at 6. It ages every invoice, sorts them by days overdue, and drafts the right message for the right day. Email or letter labeled, so you never mix them up. And before it drafts that day 60 stop work notice, it reads your contract. If you don't actually have that right, it tells you plainly that this rung doesn't exist for you. Then it puts one number at the top of the page. The total amount of money currently sitting in other people's bank accounts that belongs to you. It drafts everything. It sends nothing. You press send, you lick the stamp. So the letter goes out. And this is where most people find out their contract can't back it up. Stage 4, protect it. Prompt 7 is a contract audit. You paste in the agreement you actually send customers, the one you copied from somewhere in 2019 and have never read since. And it audits it against 5 clauses. Then it tells you what's missing entirely. Not what's weak, what is not in there at all. Now, almost every contract fight I've seen in a small business came down to one of these 5. Not 50. 5. Clause 1. Scope. A specific description of the work, and then a second list of what is not included. That second list is the one that saves you. The red flag is anything that says to customer satisfaction. That's not a standard. That's a blank check written on your time. Clause 2. Payment. And this is the one. Most contracts say when payment is due. Almost none say what happens when it isn't paid. You need a deposit, a late fee, the right to suspend work. And then the sentence. Attorney's fees and collection costs shall be recoverable for failure to pay. That's it. That's the sentence that will cost you thousands or more if it's not in your contracts. Without it, you eat your own legal bill even when you win, which is exactly how a winnable $8,000 dispute becomes not worth pursuing. Your AI agent can write the most beautiful demand letter in the world. Without that sentence, it's a polite email. Now, here's my gift to you for watching this far. Here is my actual legal fee provision that I get paid thousands of dollars a year to give to my clients. Client agrees that, in the event that any invoice or part thereof is past due, client will pay all costs of collection thereof to include any interest, collection agency fees, a reasonable attorney's fee, whether or not a lawsuit or arbitration is actually filed, plus any costs incurred. There shall be no other basis for the recovery of fees under this contract. Attorney's fees include pre-suit fees, paralegal fees, expert witness fees, investigative fees, administrative costs, and all other valid charges billed by the attorney incurred in the collection, action, or proceeding, and any appeal, including the legal fees as to the amount of the fees due. That legal fee provision is in my contracts, and I modify it for my particular client's needs. That fee provision had gone through multiple court hearings and has withstood all challenges so far. So, congratulations for making it this far. Clause 3. Change orders. The customer asks for something extra, you say sure because you're standing right there. Then you bill for it, and they say they never agreed to pay. Without a change order clause, they're probably right. It has to be in writing before the work happens. An email has to count. Because a process you can't follow with dirty hands is a process you won't follow. Clause 4. Limitation of liability. This is the one that decides whether a bad day ends the business. You need a cap on your total liability. You need consequential damages excluded so you're not on the hook for the customer's lost profits because your work ran late. Without a cap, a $2,000 job becomes a 6-figure claim. Clause 5. Termination. Every relationship ends. The only question is whether the ending got written down in advance by someone calm or gets negotiated later by 2 people who are angry. Both sides get to walk. You get paid for work completed and materials already ordered. And there's a cure period, which means if someone breaches, they get a window to fix it before the whole thing blows up. Cure periods save more relationships than lawyers do. Now here's what I promised you. There's a bonus prompt that drafts the whole contract for you, with all 5 clauses in it. But it does something more important than drafting. It ends with a section that tells you what it deliberately left out and why. Because you can proofread what's on the page. You cannot proofread what isn't there. AI omissions are invisible, and that's how you catch the missing insurance requirement before your lawyer does. And then you take that draft and you walk it into an attorney's office in your state. Not because I'm being careful, because contract law is state law. A liability cap that holds up in one state is void in another. A contract that looks professional and isn't enforceable is worse than no contract at all. It makes you feel protected while you're not. Before I show you the setup, I want to thank SaneBox for sponsoring this video. Look, you probably already know how overwhelming an out-of-control inbox feels with all the emails we get daily. SaneBox fixes that and lets you train your inbox to sort emails, saving you valuable time each day. It's an AI-powered email management tool that learns which emails actually matter to you. And it quietly moves everything else out of your way, so your inbox only shows you what needs your attention right now. No more digging through promotional noise to find the one message you actually needed. There's a link in the description to SaneBox, who is offering our viewers a free trial, so you can see for yourself before spending a cent. Now, let's get back to it. If you're brand new to this, here's the whole setup in 90 seconds. 2 versions of Claude. Regular Claude is the chat. You ask, it answers, and you go do the work yourself. Cowork is the agent. It lives in the Claude desktop app, and it's included on paid plans. You point it at a folder on your computer and give it an outcome instead of a question. Chat gives you an answer. Cowork gives you a finished file. Then you build 6 folders: brief, leads, jobs, money, contracts, team, and you write one file, the owner's brief. It interviews you about your business, your margin, your capacity, what you charge, what you refuse to do, and then it asks the 2 questions nobody writes down. What does my best customer look like? And what does the customer who costs me money look like? Answer those 2. Honestly, and every prompt in this system gets sharper. AI gives people generic garbage because they never told it who they are. I put all 10 prompts, all 5 agents, the 5-clause checklist, and the contract builder into one free guide. It's the exact system I run, the link is in the description, and it costs you nothing. If this was useful, subscribe, because this is part of the ladder system and the whole thing gets broken down on this channel. Now, everything I just showed you assumes you already own the business. If you don't yet, do not go build one. Buy one that already works, add AI, and watch the margins do something ridiculous. That's the next video, and it's the one that started all of this. Click right here, and I'll see you in the next one.